Thank you to Chef for their generous donation as a YouTube member.
Day 18, Thursday. Still raining? Did it ever stop? You sat up on the bed and looked around, rubbing the sleep out of your eyes. Dozer's gone, and the power seems to be on too. Wonder where he went. I don't even know what time it is. Oh, you're awake. Hey, what time is it? Dozer dropped down on the bed beside you and laid on his side. It's like 6 right now. Too early. Class is still a little ways off. There won't be any classes today. The power is still out, and it's projected to be out until sometime later today. Oh man, really? Yeah, the weather has gotten worse, and it's really windy outside right now too. So there's probably a power line down or something. Might as well get some more sleep and see if the storm passes over us. He put his hand on your chest and forced you down onto the bed and then pulled you back against him, curling up around your body. I don't suppose I mind getting another hour or two of sleep. I know I wouldn't mind. I didn't sleep well. Wasn't my fault. I'm sorry if I disrupted your sleep. I'm not used to sleeping with someone else, so I probably moved around a lot. Oh no, that wasn't the issue. He pulled you closer and then dragged a blanket up over you both. Having you here with me will help me sleep, though, so if you don't mind being here for a bit longer. I don't mind at all, Dozer. Okay, after we get up, I'll make some breakfast. I can do oatmeal for us, at least. Sounds good. Let's get some more sleep now. His chin rested over your head, and you heard him sigh heavily. He was holding you close, giving you next to no room to move. Eventually, his hold loosened, and you heard him snoring quietly. Had his head not been so close to yours, you wouldn't have heard it over the howling wind outside. Rain pelted against the window, and thunder rolled through the clouds, and the sounds eventually lulled you back to sleep. What's that sound? Dozer's not... What is that? Oh god, it's a siren, isn't it? Dozer was now snoring heavily against you, but the sound of an alarm outside stirred you from your sleep. You nudged Dozer with your elbow in an attempt to wake him up. Dozer. Hey, Dozer. What? You hear that? Huh? He was quiet, but after a moment he jumped out of bed and started scooping up pillows and blankets. Get up now and get to the bathroom. Huh? Those are tornado sirens. Come on. Dozer disappeared into the hallway with all the blankets and pillows off the bed, and you followed. Once in the bathroom, Dozer tossed all the pillows and blankets into the bathtub and climbed in, reaching his arms out to you. Get in here! Is there room? We'll be fine, just get in here! You did as you were told, and he pulled you down onto his lap. With you in his lap, he started adjusting the pillows around you. Dozer, why are we in here? This is the closest to the middle of the apartment, and it's one of the safest places to be during a tornado. I don't think we have anything to worry about. The sirens have gone off before and nothing ever happened. Dozer put his arms tightly around you and you felt him shaking his head. Doesn't matter, we're not gonna risk it. His arms squeezed you tightly and his breathing sounded heavier than normal as his chin rested on your shoulder. Are you okay, Dozer? I'm okay. I just don't like bad weather. Really? We were running around in the rain and thunder yesterday. That wasn't bad weather, though. This is bad weather. Tornadoes are something I'm not very fond of. With another boom of thunder, he jumped and hugged you tight. It makes me really uneasy. Does it not bother you? Try both. Alright. Not really. Bad weather's never affected me any. I just don't let it bother me. How? I just focus on other things normally. I mean, we have each other right now. That's a plus, right? Yeah. So we talk about pretty much anything to help keep your mind off of it. Ooh, that's true. So saying it doesn't will make his concern sound unimportant. Let's see what happens if we say it does. It does bother me a little. I don't care for bad weather, but there's nothing I can do about it. I try not to get worked up over it. How? I just focus on normal things, really. I think saying it does bother me, but we're trying to work through it is better. Mainly for that guy. For the magic guy's reasoning. That's a plus, right? Yeah. We can talk about pretty much anything to keep your mind off of it. Like, tell me about the Brindle Mountains. You stayed in the cabins there before, haven't you? I've never been up there, so I know nothing about it. Oh yeah, I was supposed to show you the website for the lodge we'd be staying in, but I never got the chance. What kind of stuff can we do there? Well, we'll definitely try skiing, since I have free rental. I've done it before, and it's not too hard. I think you'll have fun with it. I'm looking forward to trying that. It seems like it'd be fun. And we'll visit the hot springs, too. There's some natural hot springs up there, and the lodge we'll be staying at is connected to it. We'll take a dip in the water while surrounded by snow. Really? Yeah, it's really great going from the cold air to the hot water. It's so awesome. But getting out? I love the blasty cold air, but they have a heated room so you can move directly to so you can dry off. What about the food there? How's the food? It's not extraordinary that I recall. Don't get me wrong, it's good food, but it's nothing that'll blow you away. They do serve really good hot chocolate, though. They have some of the best I've ever had. I see. That sounds great. We could have a fun day of skiing and then retire to the lodge with a big cup of hot chocolate. That's the plan. My mom and I would have a yearly trip up there, and we always had fun. Harvey went with us for a couple of years, but that was even more fun. He's terrible at skiing and hates the snow, but he'd always go with us because it would give us some time alone. I guess your mom knew about you two, right? Oh yeah, she did. Remember that story about how I told you about how I got the scar on my head? Yeah? What was that day my mom saw me kiss Harvey? I didn't know how she was home, and Harvey had confessed to having feelings for me. I kissed him, and then we found out my mom had heard everything and saw us kiss. Harvey left, and I talked to her about it, and she was happy that I was happy, and that's all she wanted. Aw, that must be nice. It was a huge relief for me. We can hang out at my place without worry. We had a lot of fun whenever we went to Brindle, though. How deep is the snow normally? There's a few inches, I think. I've been there when there's a couple of feet, but for skiing, we don't need a ton. Okay. Well, I'm really excited about getting to do it with you. I'm glad. I'm looking forward to it, too. Looks like the sirens just stopped. Yeah. Let's stay here a little longer, just in case they start up again. Sure. Looks like I'm going to be staying at your place for a while today. Well, yeah, there's no way I'm going to let you leave in this weather. What should we do? You can't just sit in the bathtub all day. I could practice some of my new massage techniques for my book. You could let me try this time. I suppose you could try that too. I could use the attention. You're really going to have to work hard, though. My body is pretty tough. You doubt this? You raised one of your arms and flexed it. Dozer's hand grabbed it and groped with his large hand. I don't suppose I could doubt that. After breakfast, then, we'll see what you can do. Breakfast sounds good. My stomach has started to growl at me. Mine is getting a little grumpy, too, and I'm kind of uncomfortable right here. Well, yeah, you're crammed into the tub, and I'm sitting on you. I'm pretty sure we're safe to go to get some food now. You're probably right. Let's get out of here, and I'll make some breakfast then. Before letting you go up, Dozer hugged you tightly one more time. Thanks for staying in here with me. Better safe than sorry, right? With a little bit of struggling, you and Dozer managed to get out of the bathtub. If you want to start breakfast, I can take care of the blankets and pillows. Sounds good to me. It won't take me long to get that handled. You gathered the pillows and blankets and carried them back into the bedroom to dump them off before joining Dozer in the kitchen. Man, the clouds outside look really intense right now. See there, it looks stormy outside now. Well, kinda. The sky is darker. Yeah, it looks like anything could happen at this point. Maybe we should have left everything in the bathroom just in case. I think it'd be easy to grab again if we did have to. I don't think we will, though. The clouds are moving fast, so maybe the storm will pass us by quickly. I hope so. I hope the power comes back on soon, otherwise we'll be eating a lot of stuff from the fridge. I don't want the food to go bad. Oh man, I didn't even think about that. I didn't open the fridge yet, since the power's been out since last night. I wanted to stay cold for as long as possible. So unless it's on by lunchtime, we're gonna have a feast. It'll make up for this pitiful breakfast, at least. I cut up some bananas to put in it, along with some brown sugar. It's not the greatest thing, but it should taste good.
You definitely make the oatmeal sound way more appealing like that, though.
Good. Grab a couple of bowls and get ready. It'll all be finished soon.
Maria's calling. Guess I still have service. Hello? Grant! Are you and Dozer safe? Oh, yeah, we're fine. Nothing to worry about here. Oh, thank goodness. A tornado touched down nearby, and I just wanted to make sure you were safe. Whoa, really? We heard sirens go off here, and we hid in the bathroom. Didn't seem like anyone was near us, though. Well, please be mindful of the sirens and stay safe. According to the weather report, the worst has passed over us. But you can never be too sure. Yeah, of course. We'll keep an eye on things. I'll try to keep you updated, too, just in case. Thank you, Maria. I have a couple of other calls to make now, so I'll talk to you later. Stay safe. You too. Click.
Just checking in on us?
Yeah. She said a tornado had touched down somewhere nearby, and she wanted to make sure we were okay.
What? Where?
She didn't say where, she just said nearby.
We should be in the tub then. It's safe in there.
It's okay, Dozer. According to her, she said the worst has passed over us now.
But the weather could change at any given moment.
There's nothing to worry about. It's fine.
You don't know that.
I don't, but the weather reports say that...
The weather reports mean nothing!
You were taken aback by Dozer's sudden shift in attitude, and he noticed it too.
Geez, I'm sorry, Grant. I didn't mean to yell at you.
Do tornadoes really bother you that much?
It's kinda irrational.
What?
Why it bothers me so much.
And why is that?
Let me finish this oatmeal, we'll talk about what we eat.
Dozer returned to his task of making breakfast, and soon he was sitting at the table with you to eat it. So why are you getting so worked up about the weather?
You're gonna think it's silly.
Try me.
When I was younger, I watched a movie about tornadoes. For some reason, I very specifically remember the sirens and the news talking about it being safe in the movie. Then a tornado came out of nowhere and destroyed everything. I remember watching people getting sucked into it in houses and cars. It was crazy. After that, I would have recurring nightmares about tornadoes, and I've kind of been afraid of them ever since. So this kind of weather makes me really nervous and uncomfortable. I've tried to hold it together for you, but it's been kind of slipping out here and there.
I never would have thought it bothered you that much.
Right? Who would have thought that a guy my size would be afraid of a little wind? It's kind of shameful, but I can't help it.
There's nothing to be ashamed of, Dozer. Tornadoes definitely aren't cuddly.
No, they aren't. While we're on the topic, is there anything you're really afraid of? I don't mean like being alone or being forgotten, like a legit physical fear.
Spiders!
I have a general fear of spiders. Really? Spiders?
The thought of them creeps me out. I just can't stand seeing them. So one time I saw one in the bathroom mirror at the shelter. I shouted at it, and Richard jumped out of the shower naked and dripping. He seemed so concerned, and he doubled over laughing when I pointed at the spider. It was maybe the size of a nickel. He really gave me a hard time over it.
Well, I'll handle all your spider problems. I'm all about catch and release, since they don't really bother me. They can keep pests away from my plants too.
Well, I'll keep that in mind then. No squashing of the spiders as long as you're around.
Yeah, there's no reason to kill them. Thanks for sharing. It makes me feel a little better just hearing that you're afraid of something.
Fear isn't something we should be ashamed of, so we should be able to share these things with each other, right?
Right.
Dozer's bowl was already empty, and he got up to rinse out his dish. You scarfed down the rest of your food, and he took your bowl to clean it out as well. So, would you be more comfortable if we chilled in the bathroom until the storm fully passed by?
You'd be willing to sit in the bathroom with me just so I'd feel better?
Well, we could lay the blankets out on the floor and light a couple of candles on the sink. It wouldn't be terribly different from the bedroom, right?
You know, the bed would be way more comfortable, though.
It would be, but I do want you to feel at ease, too.
I think I'll be fine just having you with me. We'll stay in the bedroom, and we'll move if we hear the sirens again, okay?
Okay.
Let's head back there now. You've got some work to do.
Upon entering the room, Dozer tossed his shirt aside and jumped onto the bed on his stomach, folding his arms under a pillow and to rest his head on.
Alright, have at it. Huh? You said you wanted to massage me, so let's see what you got. You can start with my legs and go from there. Okay, I've never really done this, so don't judge me too harshly. I'll try not to. You sat on your knee with his foot resting between them. You hesitated, taking a moment to let your eyes wander up his hulking frame. With a hard swallow, you put your hands against his calf and squeezed it. It was firm, and you could definitely tell it was nothing but pure muscle that you were squeezing. You groped and squeezed over his calf for a moment before putting your hands down flat and rubbing them up and down. So you can definitely put a lot of pressure behind what you're doing. You're not going to hurt me, so really dig in. Use your thumbs and apply as much pressure to my calf as you can, pushing up and then dragging back down. I'll try it. You're so damn thick, it'll be a workout just for me to do this. I told you, it could be some work. If you get tired, let me know and we'll swap places. Taking what he said, you dug your... taking what he said. I don't know what... Okay. You dug your thumbs into his muscle and slowly pushed up towards his thigh. There you go. That feels good. So if you can keep up that pressure all over, you'll do fine for now. I'll try. You focused on one leg at a time, spending a couple of minutes on his calf first before moving up higher on his leg. There was so much area to cover on the back of his thigh, you tried using the heel of your hand to cover more ground, putting your weight into your rubbing. That does feel surprisingly good. I don't get to enjoy this that often. I'll try to get better at it for you. I should be able to help you out when you're sore too. While you worked on him, you were mindful not to travel too far up his thighs, but your fingers were pressed down between those thick trunks, and from time to time, and engulfed in heat between them. You worked on his legs long enough to where you were already beginning to feel a little sore from it, but you pushed on, repositioning yourself at his side. If you'll focus on the middle of my lower back for a moment, once you're done, you can straddle my back and it'll be easier to handle the upper area of my shoulders. Oh, okay. How does this feel? You just used the same motion on his back they were using on his legs. It's alright. It's a little harder to handle with my tail and not being on a proper table for a massage. He raised his tail up and swayed it around a moment. That guy gets in the way of a handful of things. So I've seen. But I wouldn't feel right without him. The tip of his tail curled back towards you and poked the side of your head, making him chuckle before letting it fall back down again. You did what you could, grinding your hands into Dozer's back, and after a few minutes you decided to just move on. Okay, I'm gonna crawl on top of you now, just tell me if it's uncomfortable. You should be fine, so don't worry. Carefully, you straddled yourself across his back. It wasn't comfortable for you, his body being as wide as it was, but you were going to make the most of it. Man, this is impressive. Your hands moved along his back and up towards his shoulders. At this point, you weren't even trying to massage him, you were just exploring the curves and grooves of his body. I don't think I've really had a chance to feel your back or see it up close like this. That's right, you really haven't. What do you think? Like I said, it's impressive. There's so much muscle here, it's crazy. I can't typically see my back too well, so hearing that is good. You'll have to take a picture of it for me sometime. Gladly. You continued to move your hands around his back, finally putting some pressure into what you were doing as you tried to work over his thick body. When you got to his shoulders, he rolled them around, and it took both of your hands on one side just to make sure he felt something. Squeeze it as hard as you can. Really work it over. I'm trying. You're so damn thick, though. It's tough. We're gonna have to get you lifting more often so you can handle it, huh? Seriously. Your hands moved from shoulder to shoulder, then to the back of his neck. You noticed his scar again while you were rubbing your thumbs against the base of his skull. You ran your fingers over it and used your fingertips to massage his scalp. You really got that scar from protecting Harvey from a bomb explosion? Yep. You don't believe me? Oh no, it's not that. It takes a lot of guts to do something like that. I don't know if I'd be able to do it. Sometimes you don't really think about yourself when someone else is in danger. I did the only thing I could think of at the time. I put my own life at risk if it meant protecting someone close to me. That goes for you too, you know. You leaned over and propped your chin on his shoulder, continuing to rub your hands lightly over his arms. Why? Why put yourself at risk for me? Jade shrugged. You're important to me. I don't need much more of a reason, do I? I suppose not. While you leaned over against him, you noticed a light from the outside of the room flick on. Then you heard a familiar buzzing sound of power flowing back through the house. Seems like power's working again. Oh, that's good. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna rub you, though. It's your turn now. I don't think I've done enough for you yet. Believe me, you have. You really put some effort into it, and I can feel it. Not to mention, you can't be comfortable how you are right now. I'm sure your knees are crying. He rolled towards his side, dumping you off of his back. Now, make yourself comfortable. You rubbed me down last night, though. And you just got a good workout, so let me do it. Okay. You did as you were told, rolling onto your stomach as he had done, and he got to work in your legs immediately. His hands didn't have any problem working over your muscles either. Since the power's back on, it's not even noon yet, I'll have to see if the clinic is open or going to open. I was supposed to go in around 3. You think it'll open? If the weather clears out, for sure. For all I know, the clinic has had power the whole time and is already operating. It could be on a different power grid than us or something. I suppose that's true. I'll call them after I'm done with you. After he said that, his hand slid over your butt and he gave it a hard squeeze before moving to your lower back. Do you have a favorite spot you'd like me to rub? Nothing in particular. It all feels good to me. Okay, that's a good thing, I suppose. He spent time rubbing over your back and shoulders in silence, unlike when he normally talks to you. Both hands pressed hard into you, squeezing and groping every inch of your back. It seemed he couldn't resist temptation, and he went back to your butt, groping and rolling it around. Have I told you you have a really nice ass? I'm glad you think so. That's something Harv really had going on. He had a fine backside, too. He slapped his hands lightly against it a few times, and you heard him exhale deeply. Well, I need to make that call real quick. He moved from the bed to his desk and grabbed his phone, and after a moment he was speaking to someone. Hey, this is Dozer calling. I just wanted to check to make sure the clinic was still running today since I lost power here. Uh-huh. Yeah, the weather was really bad. It sounded like, but things seem to be clearing up now. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. All right. Okay. Great. I'll see you later today then. He put his phone aside and spun to face you. Okay, so the weather is set to be fine after a couple more hours, so I'll be going in for my shift at 3. They never lost power there either. It might have been a localized outage. I see. You had sat up on the bed and were watching him as he fiddled with his phone. Something was lingering on your mind, and it was like he could tell. You see a lot of things about Harvey and me, don't you? I'm sorry. I knew I was comparing the two of you a lot, and I've been tried cutting it out. I don't know if you noticed or not. I knew you compared us often, and I had mostly forgotten about it since you hadn't done it recently, but just now, as soon as I said it, I knew I shouldn't have. I'm really sorry, Grant. Don't be aggravated. Be understanding. Goddamn. I'm not going to hold it against you, Dozer. You and Harvey were together for a while. Can't be helped if certain things about me remind you of him. But it would certainly make me feel better if you stopped relating me to him so much. I'll really try to stop doing that. I see a handful of things in you that I saw in him, and it's really hard sometimes not to think about him. He was the first person I ever really felt like I had something with. It's tough on me. I understand, Dozer. It's all right. We'll work through it together, okay? Thanks, Grant. It makes me feel better hearing that. I think I'm going to go take a shower to relax and sort my thoughts. Just one of those other things I need to get under control. Sure thing. I'll just chill in here or something. After gathering some clothes from his closet, he left for the bathroom. I hope he can straighten things out within himself. I'll just do what I can for him. Part of me wishes Harvey would leave him alone, but at the same time, I can't help but feel that's selfish of me. I don't want either of them to resent me. I don't want either of them to resent the other. Or resent me, for that matter. He stayed on Dozer's bed for a little bit, then moved to the living room to watch TV. The sun's already shining again? The weather certainly doesn't make any sense sometimes. Yep. Midwest confirmed. I guess that means Dozer will be going to work for sure, and I'll be heading home when he does. Who's texting me? Hey, is everything alright there? I saw tornadoes were in that area, and Dozer isn't replying to me. Yeah, everything's cool. The weather's blown past, Dozer is showering, and that's probably why he hasn't replied. Okay, cool. You're not showering with him? Thinking time for him? Yeah, you know him well. Of course, I almost never let him shower alone, but when he did, it was because he was mad or just had a lot on his mind. Are things okay with you two? Yeah, things are fine. He's had a lot on his mind lately, it seems. Probably my fault. I'm sorry if I caused any trouble for you two. Ooh, that's a subtle choice. Well, let's see what the majority says first and see how that plays out. It's not your fault, I wouldn't worry about it. I really want Dozer to be happy. He is happy, but he'd be happy if you were happy too, I think. He still cares a lot about you. That's nice to hear. Alright, let's see what the difference is. Don't worry about it, I'm sure things will be fine. I really want Dozer to be happy, but I keep screwing up. He is happy, but he'd be happier if you... So the difference in those is that is this screen right here. I really want Dozer to be happy. Yeah, it's just that. I really want Dozer to be happy. So in this one, he acknowledges his failures, but I keep screwing up. I think him admitting that he's at fault is ultimately more beneficial, not because it's like nice to hear someone being like, I fucked up, but because I don't know. I think maybe if he's admitting that he is screwing up, then it is a little more of understanding that, like, we know what he's been doing. So there isn't this, are you doing something behind my back, whatever kind of thing. If he honestly feels regret about it, it's better to say it's not your fault, so that he can hear something better about it, so that maybe, because ultimately he's going through a tough time. I don't think he's a bad person. I just think he's going through a tough time. I'll try to be better from now on, so I don't cause more stress for either of you. Just remember, he's still your friend no matter what. Be sure to treat him as such. Thanks, Grant. I'm gonna go now, so I'll talk to you another time. Later. Jeez, Harvey sends all sorts of mixed signals. He needs to get his act together. And Dozer needs to get out of the shower already. He's been in there for close to an hour now. He flipped on the TV and zoned out a few minutes before you heard the bathroom door open. After a bit longer, Dozer joined you in the living room. Sorry to keep you waiting for so long. It's alright. Are you feeling better? Yeah, I'm good now. He sat down beside you and you scooted over to lean against him. I just had another thought about the difference between the two. If we say it's not Harvey's fault, he might take that to mean that we're saying it's Dozer's fault. I don't know. Well, the only difference that we saw was either he admits fault or that he doesn't. And even later on, he admits that he's doing something wrong in causing stress, that he's trying not to. Ultimately, the difference is probably not that big a deal. Here's hoping. He sat down beside you and scooted over to lean against him. I noticed the sun is already out in full force now. Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, hard to believe we woke up to tornado sirens.
I should probably let my mom know I'm okay. And Harvey, too. And Harvey? He texted me and asked if we were okay since you hadn't replied to him. Oh, I didn't know he had sent me any messages. I'll call my mom and text him when I'm leaving for work then. Which isn't for a few more hours at least. Anything you want to do until then? Eat lunch for sure. I'll have to make sure everything is in the fridge is fine. Otherwise, I'm happy to just sit in here with you, watching TV. Sorry if that's boring, but it's nice just having you with me. You know I don't mind that myself. As long as you don't mind me laying all over you. Of course not. Let me go check on the refrigerator and then I'll make some lunch for us. Go for it. He patted your leg and went off to the kitchen. Guess I'm just gonna chill out for a bit longer, then head out when Dozer does. Dozer eventually called you to the kitchen for lunch, and once lunch was eaten, you both returned to the living room couch. You spent your time with your head in his lap as he idly ran his fingers through your hair. Time ticked away quickly, and before you knew it, Dozer was getting dressed for work, and it was time for you both to leave. God, it's hard to tell he's wearing a shirt right now. I'm really glad you were here with me this morning. It was nice waking up next to someone, even though the circumstances weren't the best today. Yeah, I know what you mean. Having someone to wake up to is great. Don't forget, you're staying here with me tomorrow too after our matches. I just might keep you all weekend if you let me. I don't suppose I'd mind that. You put your hands on his hips and leaned in to kiss him, your lips locking together in a heavy, passionate kiss. I'll be expecting more of that too. Same here. I need to get going though, so let's head out. You turned your back to him and he put your hand on your butt, giving it a squeeze as he pushed you out the door. Maria, I'm home! Welcome home, Grant. How did everything look on your way back? Was there a lot of damage? It didn't seem too bad. There were some downed tree branches, but nothing too major. Oh, that's good then. I was worried things might have been worse. How's Dozer doing? He's good. He had to head over to the clinic for some volunteer work. Oh, good. The storm didn't affect them too much then? It didn't, it seems. Have you heard back from your application yet? Not yet, but I hope to hear something this weekend. I'm actually looking forward to having more to do. I'm sure you'll be cleared and good to start next week. Oh, and speaking of next week, Dozer invited me to go stay with him in the Brindle Mountain Lodge for a few days. It seemed that he had some vouchers for some free nights and that he gets from doing volunteer work, so we'll be there during the weekend. Ah, a romantic getaway for the two of you. How fantastic! You two can ski into the sunset together and then snuggle up in front of the fireplace while sipping on hot chocolate. He would hold you close while regaling about the events of the day, laughing about how terrible you both are at skiing. Oh, but what if you hurt yourself while skiing, though? Would that not ruin the day? No, he's a professional in that field. He could carry you back to the lodge in his strong arms and tend to your sprained ankle ever so tenderly, making sure you are as comfortable as possible while he dotes on you. Oh, Maria. Oh, it makes my heart gush. He's just a gentle giant, isn't he? Right? He has to be gentle when he does the work he does, and
to do the work he does, and since he loves bonsai trees, he must have a delicate touch. He does. He really is. He is really gentle. Ah, so wonderful. I can't wait to see him on Saturday for dinner. You know, you could see him tomorrow. We have matches then. That's right, you do. I guess get to see him even sooner then, because I won't be missing your match. That means you need to be relaxing. So go, shoo. Go to your room and I'll make you a nice dinner and prepare you for tomorrow. Okay, sure. Thank you, Maria. That sounds great. It's my pleasure. Now go. I don't know what I'd do without her. I think I'll catch a nap before dinner and just spend the rest of the night here. Oh, I wonder how the seeds are doing. You lifted up the lid on your little greenhouse and noticed the tiniest stems are starting to push up through the dirt. They're starting to sprout. I'll have little plants in no time for Dozer. I'll let Maria know when we have dinner, since I'm sure she'll be excited about it too. I can't wait to show him either. I hope he likes it. My tree looks like it's doing okay too, and I'm glad for that. I don't know what I should be doing with it right now. I'll have to ask Dozer when he's here this weekend too. After examining the plants, you rolled onto your bed. Time for a nap.